Hey everybody, welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Wednesday, the 7th of March. Hope everybody had a great trading day yesterday. Was unable to get a video out yesterday. Had a little bit of a fritz with my recording software. Hopefully, we're back and up and running, and I'm not just talking to myself. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. We are down about 20 points in the S&P this morning. We're seeing some pretty strong movements coming back down in the S&P. So let's go ahead and look at it. So yesterday I had talked about a potential. I didn't feel like the S&P's rally was going to hold. We saw this rally occur on kind of anemic volume. So in reality, you know, what have we done over the past few weeks? The answer would be a whole lot of nothing. While the S&P has gone up and gone down, it's really done a whole lot of nothing in the last few weeks. Matter of fact, if I go to a daily chart, we are actually sitting at the same place we were in the middle of February. So really, the middle of December. So we're at about the same level we were through the middle of December. We are still basing between where we had in that Volageddon period, right? As our volatility kind of increased, and so now we are sitting in between some areas, so that could turn out to be pretty decent turning points kind of in the future. Now we have come up since our the futures market is up a bit since this initial thrust down, and we've rallied back a bit higher. We definitely are going to have a hard time getting through the origin of this move down right here. We're going to have a hard time getting through this particular area right here, so keep that area kind of in mind. And that area, I mean, anytime you have that kind of a gap, that's going to be something to really pay attention to. Looking at these markets. You know, if I look at this, and a lot of people are looking for longer term stuff. If I look at this on the actual, right? So right now we're still looking at this on the March contract. The March contract has that gap as there's the H, and then whether I look at the March or whether I look at the June, I'm going to have basically that same gap, that same move down. So this is the M contract. So my point being there is that if you do plan on getting into something and holding it longer, you know, as we move into this, you know, nearing this rollover period, just keep that in mind. As we start to kind of head, if you're looking for longer term trade opportunities. I will tell you right now, there's not a whole lot going on that's going to tell me what to do one way or the other. For those of you that trade options, this could be a pretty decent time for options trading because you could still get some premium from this, especially with the volatility a bit higher. Looking at the NQ, so the NQ, we had a breakout on this move up, so hopefully some of you were able to catch that breakout trade and make some hay in that little breakout trade, heading higher. It then hit target, which was the opposing fair price area right up through here. That was part of my video plan for yesterday. Unfortunately, it didn't get it recorded and didn't get it out. But the S&P, the Nasdaq, made it to this region and now has fallen off. I would again also, at this same area, the gap fill area, look for a potential reversal here if we do continue to run up this morning, or even after the market opens. What I think more likely to happen is that once the market opens, we will see that price continue to drift lower. I think that when we do open, we're going to open with a bit of a gap down, and if we break down below here, then we're going to see kind of a potential for a runaway gap to the downside on the opening of that market. Crude oil. So looking here at crude, we'd had a trade set up in crude on this reversal right off of this area through here. I'm not sure how many of you were able to catch that one. I got a text from a friend of mine yesterday who was unable to get that. I was actually standing pat yesterday simply because I had a breakout long set up. I had a reversal set up through here, and it wouldn't hold. We did get this one down in here. I was kind of standing pat on that, so I'm gonna remove this line and then say, okay, what are the areas I'm gonna look at in the future Going out to say the 4-hour time period on this, and I like to stay. I want to look a little bit higher level, big picture on this 4-hour time period. We've got a really good reversal up here, and we have we had an upward trend, which then we broke, and now we're coming here. So this is just telling me that I've got sideways price action. That's what this is telling me. This is telling me that I've got some sideways price action, not a whole lot of big picture trading opportunities inside of there. When I move this down to the hourly chart, we may, we may still get another reversal off of this area through here. I'm not in love with this area simply because of the amount of time that we spent there, how wicky the area is. You see all these wicks that are in here. And I don't love the way that we're arriving into that spot. So for now, I'm going to leave that 4-hour level on there, and I'm going to just kind of stand pat in oil. Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, and I think that's what's holding true on this one. Gold. So looking at our gold areas, we saw gold pop up to this reversal point right through here, and then it has since begun to fall off of the pricing area. So that particular gold area, could be is a pretty decent reversal, but there's no real strong stopping point in gold until we get down into here. So I would look for, if we get another shot, if you get another bite at the apple, a reversal potential. If indeed price comes, there's really nothing even on the 15-minute chart that I'm in love with. There's nothing that strikes. You've got a couple of little areas here that we may get a stall, and so I will put this one on. For those of you that are looking for something to get into, let's see if I can do this a fourth time. Now remember, we're doing this on the 15-minute chart, so I'm putting it to a purple line. Anytime I use a purple line, remember you've got slightly lower degrees of probability because we're finding it on a smaller time period chart. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our bond markets. So on our bond markets, we've still got our same area in here. This area is in play. We'll allow that to kind of continue to make its move. It has not gotten there yet, and we'll still leave that place in line. The Aussie dollar, we'd had a level set up in here. Price came in, gave us a nice little 2-to-1. This is the one that I had tweeted about yesterday, and so that area is now, trade was now over. And now what are we sitting on? Well, I unfortunately didn't get the video out yesterday to talk about this area right here. This was a really good reversal point. Hopefully some of you were able to see this one on your own, and I'm sure you caught some of this move. That was actually a pretty easy one to spot. So hopefully you guys were able to catch that one through here. And so the next one that I'm gonna look at is probably somewhere below in this area here on a 15-minute time period. I'm not going to put it on the lines though, because I will tell you that there's not enough in here for me to be excited about it. So I'm going to leave this one be. The euro, so the euro area, now this euro one we had, this is a profit target from this reversal down here. So this reversal that has happened down in here, price has begun to rally up. We've reached this. This region here is a dashed line. So a dashed line means we want price to come into the area, and then we get short as it comes back out. Well, we never came back out, and we've broken up through. So this is an example of following our trade plan because it didn't go in and come back out of the area. So this one, we're going to just leave this bad boy be. There's nothing really on here for us to look at and to use as a reversal opportunity. I will want to start to highlight this high up here as we start to get higher. This one up here is one that I'm going to pay attention to as we're starting to kind of get to that region in the future. Canadian dollar. So we had a short on the Canadian dollar on the breakdown. That breakdown price has moved pretty well out of there. Then we came back up yesterday and blew right back up through it. So some of you hopefully were able to move your stops, take some profits on that breakdown. The Canadian dollar, I don't really have anything in play at the moment. I'm going to put another potential short, breakdown right below this low, as that's really how I've been trading the Canadian for a while, is primarily just breakdowns. Nat gas, yesterday on the tweet, I had talked about a breakout potential in nat gas. Unfortunately, didn't get the video out, but I did mention a tweet, so hopefully you guys were able to see this nat gas area where we're bumping our heads, the breakout, and that is still running. Japanese yen, we had a breakout above this area here. Price came back to it, and we're still kind of moving up. So this one, you probably already took some profits off. I'm going to remove this line for now. And then, anything I look at kind of in the future here on the Japanese yen, I'm going to look for a good reversal. There's nothing here, once again, that really strikes me. So I'm going to let this thing be. And last but certainly not least is our Great British Pound. Great British Pound, we're still pretty far away from our reversal way up here. I am going to add this one because I think that we could get a reversal right through here. This is the tighter version. If you're a little bit more, aggressive, you've got that tighter version. You could widen it all the way up to here if you want to be a little bit, if you want to give yourself a bigger stop room. And I say that that's less aggressive because you've got less of a chance of getting stopped out. So a lot of stuff happening today. Today's one of those days, I got to tell you, there's something about it that tells me that that we may drift lower on the open, and because we're going to get a gap down, it could be a gap and go on the S&P and in the Nasdaq. So just be cautious as you are looking at these opportunities, and make sure that you follow your trade plan. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Later.